Again, I used every prayer I knew. I asked God to help me. I prayed in the name of Jesus Christ for help. I tried a few saints I had heard of through my Catholic wife. The result? My tormentors laughed loudly and worked me over more enthusiastically. Listen to him pray to his gods, one chuckled, most contemptuously. Listen to him. I think I got a little angry after that. I began to push back, got close to my physical body, and dove in. I wasn't exactly fighting back, but I certainly didn't remain passive. It tells me so. If the human being has a second body, if that second body survives what we call death, if personality and character continue to exist in this new old form, what then? Again, an age-old question that pleads for an answer. To date, in 12 years of non-physical activities, I find no evidence to substantiate the biblical notions of God and afterlife in a place called heaven. Perhaps I have found this and simply haven't recognized it. It is quite possible. It may be that I am not qualified. On the other hand, much of what I have encountered could be some basics which have been distorted through hundreds of years. Let's start with prayer, which is supposed to be a direct communication with God. As we are taught to pray today, it is as if a chemical formula is recited without any knowledge of the original intent or meaning of the ingredients. Or the way our children sing, "London Bridge is falling down," with no knowledge of the original meaning of the song. Our entire civilization is filled with such irrational habits. Evidently, prayer is one of these. Somewhere, someone knew how to pray. He tried to teach others. A few learned the methodology. Others absorbed only the words, and the words themselves became altered and changed over the years. Gradually, the technique was lost, until accidentally rediscovered periodically throughout the ages. In the latter cases, only rarely has the rediscoverer been able to convince others that the old, established way is not quite right. This is all I can report. The old, established way is not enough. Or, as I say, perhaps I am not qualified. Worse still, it may be that my prayer training was insufficient or improper. At any rate, it didn't work.
Have you even looked at your footage? You got a church. Churches face east. Okay, around the 8th century, priests started orienting their churches facing east. They said it was based off the designs for the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. But it's also possible that they wanted the sunrise behind them to make themselves appear more godlike and impressive. But that's not something we need to get into right now.
3 times I have gone to a place that I cannot find words to describe accurately. Again, it is this vision, this interpretation, the temporary visitation to this place or state of being that brings the message we have heard so often throughout the history of man. I am sure that this may be part of the ultimate heaven as our religions conceive it. It must also be the nirvana, the supreme experience related to us by the mystics of the ages. It is truly a state of being, very likely interpreted by the individual in many different ways. To me, it was a place or condition of pure peace, yet exquisite emotion. It was as if you were floating in warm, soft clouds where there is no up or down, where nothing exists as a separate piece of matter. The warmth is not merely around you, it is of you and through you. Your perception is dazzled and overwhelmed by the perfect environment. The cloud in which you float is swept by rays of light in shapes and hues that are constantly changing, and each is good as you bathe in them as they pass over you. Ruby red rays of light, or something beyond what we know as light, because no light ever felt this meaningful. All the colors of the spectrum come and go constantly, never harshly, and each brings a different soothing or restful happiness. It is as if you are within and a part of the clouds surrounding an eternally glowing sunset. And with every changing pattern of living color, you also change. You respond and drink into you the eternity of the blues, yellows, greens, and reds, and the complexities of the intermediates. All are familiar to you. This is where you belong. This is home. As you move slowly and effortlessly through the cloud, there is music around you. It is not something of which you become aware. It is there all the time, and you vibrate in harmony with the music. Again, this is more than the music you knew back there. It is only those harmonies, the delicate and dynamic melodic passages, the multi-voiced counterpoint, the poignant overtones. It is only those that have evoked in you the deep, incoherent emotion back there. The mundane is missing. Choirs of human-sounding voices echo in wordless song. Infinite patterns of strings in all shades of subtle harmony interweave in cyclical yet developing themes, and you resonate with them. There is no source from which the music comes. It is there, all around you, in you. You are a part of it, and it is you. It is the purity of a truth of which you have had only a glimpse. This is the feast, and the tiny tidbits you tasted before, back there, had made you hope for the existence of the whole. The nameless emotion, longing, nostalgia, sense of destiny that you felt back there when you stared at the cloud-layered sunset in Hawaii. When you stood quietly among the tall waving trees in the silent forest. When a musical selection, passage, or song recalled memories of the past, or brought forth a longing for which there was no associated memory. When you longed for the place where you belonged, whether city, town, country, nation, or family, these are now fulfilled. You are home. You are where you belong, where you always should have been. Most important, you are not alone. With you, beside you, interlocked in you are others. They do not have names, nor are you aware of them as shapes, but you know them, and you are bonded to them with a great single knowledge. They are exactly like you. They are you, and like you, they are home. You feel with them, like gentle waves of electricity passing between you, a completeness of love, of which all the facets you have experienced are but segments and incomplete portions. Only here the emotion is without need of intense display or demonstration. You give and receive as an automatic action, with no deliberate effort. It is not something you need or that needs you. The reaching out is gone. The interchange flows naturally. You are unaware of differences in sex. You yourself, as part of the whole, are both male and female, positive and negative, electron and proton. Man-woman love moves to you and from you. Parent, child, sibling, idol and ideal all interplay in soft waves about you, in you, and through you. You are in perfect balance because you are where you belong. You are home. Within all of this, yet not a part of it, you are aware of the source of the entire span of your experience, of you, of the vastness beyond your ability to perceive and or imagine. Here, you know and easily accept the existence of the Father, your true Father. The Father, the creator of all that is or was. You are one of his countless creations. How or why, you do not know. This is not important. You are happy simply because you are in your right place where you truly belong. Each of the 3 times I went there, I did not return voluntarily. I came back sadly, reluctantly. Someone helped me return. Each time after I returned, I suffered intense nostalgia and loneliness for days. I felt as an alien might among strangers in a land where things were not right, where everything and everyone was so different and so wrong compared with where you belonged.
Yes.
Acute loneliness, nostalgia, and something akin to homesickness.
Mm-hmm.
So great was it that I have not tried to go there again. Was this heaven?
Mm-hmm.